'Tis was July 19th, 2019. There was a little boy, the age of 14. He tried to do redstone in the Bedrock Edition, a 3x3 door. That was his great mission. It took many minutes and many seconds more, and after some time, he had a 3x3 door. He was ready to unveil his greatest creation and complain to the world about the Bedrock abomination. He posted a video, and to his surprise, it got many views and brought tears to his eyes. It continued to escalate, even got top result. He had taken control of the Bedrock player cult, but then, all of a sudden, his video bumped down. Someone had taken his top result crown. The video was called the perfect 3x3 door, but something was missing. It needed something more. What if he built a redstone contraption that worked in all versions with little room for compaction? A door that's one wide and relatively fast, that works in Java and Bedrock. Even console gets a pass. No longer are the differences in redstone a chore. Today I present to you the best 3x3 piston door. So this in front of me is what I like to say is the best 3x3 piston door in Minecraft. Now obviously that is a huge, bold claim to put on a piston door. Now obviously this isn't the best Java 3x3 piston door because there are way cooler 3x3 piston doors on Java. I'm just saying 3x3 piston door across any version. And the reason I say that is because this 3x3 piston door, like you heard in the video, well, not the video, like you heard in the little narration thing, works in every single version of Minecraft, like actual versions, not really weird versions like, I don't know, Raspberry Pi, but you know what I'm saying. This works in 1.11 and up for the Java edition. It works in the latest Bedrock versions, probably works on the previous ones, but I'm not sure how to really check that because I don't know how to go through versions on Bedrock really. And it works in the legacy console editions, that is the 360, PS3, and the old PS4 and Xbox One console versions. So another thing, this thing is pretty fast. Look at that nice closing, also pretty nice opening. This thing is 1 block wide. And now I'm gonna just prove some more points on Bedrock. Also, wait, before I do that, need to give some credit. This double piston extender over here was made by Nakai. This thing is universal across all versions, obviously, because it has to be. So the reason why this was kind of difficult is I needed a double piston extender that also had an immovable object so that this piston could just push across everything. And that immovable object is this piston head right here. So as you can see, the piston won't push even though it's being directly powered by that lever. That's because we have the piston head blocking the way, and it also serves as some wiring to update these observers. So yeah, pretty clever double piston extender. So now let's go on to the Bedrock version so I can show you some more things that's great about this door. So this is the exact same design but on the Bedrock version, and if we just open and close it, as you can see, the closing is actually still pretty fast for a Bedrock 3x3 or just a piston door in general. And the opening obviously is still a little bit slower, but you know, that's just Bedrock, but it's actually not as much slowed down as I thought it would be. So if we go up here, we actually have a speed test. Now what you're going to see when I flick this lever is all 4 of these 3x3 door designs, which are made by various people, which I'll explain later. And it's basically going to say in the chat, if you look in the top left corner once I flick that lever, whose piston door will activate first, and just put their name and the color. So our contestants for this speed contest over here. In red, we have my old version of the 3x3 piston door, the most popular video on my channel. In green, we have my another design by me. This is the new 3x3 piston door that we are about to build today. And in blue, we have a design by Goggled Gecko, which is also a pretty good design. It's basically my design, but faster. So it is a pretty solid design. And in yellow, we have TheBowTieMan's perfect 3x3 piston door. And I'm going to link Gecko and BowTieMan's video in the description. Also might link my video in the description. I don't know, you've probably seen it by now. So I'm going to flick this lever and you're going to see some things happen in the chat. So, as you can see, for the closing, BowTieMan's closes the fastest, and then it is followed by my door, and then my old door, and then Gecko's design closes the slowest. So then we're going to check the opening and see whose door opens the fastest. So let's just flick this lever again. So as you can see, Gecko's door opens the fastest, then it is my design again, and then this design, and then the BowTieMan's door closes the slowest. So if we kind of have a point system over here, where that's a lot of stuff in chat, where the person in first gets 1 point and the person in fourth gets 4 points, and the least amount of points is the fastest. So for the closing, in first place we have Bowtie, then my two designs, then Gecko, and then for the opening, Bowtie is in last, so therefore he has 5 points, so 4 points on the opening and 1 point on the closing. And then for mine, I'm second in both opening and closing, so that's 2 points each, so that will total up to 4 points. And then Gecko's is the same, he has the fastest opening but the slowest closing, so the opposite of the BowTieMan's design, so he also has 5 points. And then the slowest design is kind of ironically my old design. It is third in both opening and closing, which tallies up to 6 points. But my new design is the fastest and my old design is the slowest. But these two also pretty solid designs. Obviously BowTieMan's has the cleanest animation, but also I've also been seeing a lot of comments on his video and on my community post about this whole video that it doesn't work. It does indeed work. You just have to use a piston with a redstone block and not a repeater going into this. You can put a repeater going into this piston. Once you have a piston, activate this, but it has to be a piston and not a repeater. Also, that's a nice pro about my design. You could basically hook up a repeater or do what I did, which was just a piston and a redstone block. So my design is more versatile, I guess, with its inputs. Also, it's on the bottom, which I guess you could count as a plus, since inputs on the top are kind of janky and harder to get to, since you usually have inputs on the bottom with like pressure plates and that kind of stuff. But enough talking about my design and other people's designs. Let's actually go back to the Java edition and learn how to build this, because this video is getting really long. So to build this door, you need these things in my inventory. So these quartz blocks will represent your wall blocks, and these cyan wool blocks will represent your circuitry blocks. So you can just pause the video and get all of these things that you need. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to make a 3x3 frame. So we're going to go out here, and actually I should probably get all the stuff. There we go, that's better. And I kind of got rid of my cords, but we have it right here. So you want to make your 3x3 frame, and you're just going to go all the way around like this. Now the amount of space you want is 3 blocks on the top, so that those 3 blocks are going to be the piston, the block, and the redstone dust. You want 2 blocks of space on both sides, so that's going to be the piston and this layer over here, and the piston and this layer over here. So 2 blocks on the sides, 3 blocks on the top, and then 3 blocks on the bottom, which is going to be this double piston extender and this layer on the bottom. So make sure you have that amount of space. So let's build our piston layout. So you're going to go down to this bottom middle block and put 2 sticky pistons facing upwards like that. You're going to go on this left side and put a sticky piston facing the frame like this. And then on both sides, you are going to put 2 sticky pistons going into the frame just like that. And then, oh my god, I can't place blocks. And then finally on the top, you're going to put 3 sticky pistons facing downwards just like that. So this is your piston layout. So now we're going to actually start with the actual redstone. So there we go. So under here, our input is going to be under this piston. Now don't flick it, because then the entire row is going to push sideways. And then under here, we're going to put an observer and put a piece of redstone dust like this. Go to the side and then put a 3-tick repeater going like that. And then we're going to put 2 observers going like this, and a block under this piston like that. And I don't know what just happened on the Xbox. My capture card is still on. And you're going to put 4 ticks like this on the top piston, and you're going to put an observer facing upwards going like that. you're going to put a block in front of this 3-tick repeater with a torch, and you're going to get your lamps. Put a lamp on top and a torch like that, and just make sure that block is retracted. And then you're going to go up here, put 2 blocks like this, and 2 pieces of redstone like that. You're going to get your slabs, and I think in 1.15 is when they introduced redstone dust on glass, so if you can do that, you can do that, but slabs works in all versions, so I'm just going to use slabs. So 2 dust on these slabs like that, a block over, another piece of redstone dust, and then 3 blocks, 3 pieces of redstone dust, and we're going to go down here, put a repeater, and a piece of redstone dust like that, and then we're going to get our sticky pistons again, and we should have 2 left, I'm pretty sure, and we're going to put 1 sticky piston facing downwards like that, put a redstone block, a block over here next to this bottom piston, piece of redstone, another sticky piston with another redstone block, and now we're going to start with our double piston extender. So we're going to go get our normal piston, make it facing upwards just like that. We're going to get 2 observers and just put them facing into this frame thing. And then over here we're going to just put a block and a 4-tick repeater going into this top piston. And then down here we need our lamps again, and you're going to put a lamp 1 block below this redstone block, and you're going to put 2 observers like this. You're going to put your hopper in front of this observer, doesn't matter which way it's facing, and then another observer going into this block under this piston, and then finally piece of redstone just like that. And that should be your entire universal 3x3 door. Actually, don't flick it yet. I missed 1 observer right here next to the lamp. There we go. Now it should be completely done. So flick the lever and the entire door closes, and flick the lever again and the entire door opens. So now I'm going to go over some slight changes that you can do across the different versions of the game. So first of all, if you are building this in Java, you do not need this repeater. So if you're going to build this in Java or the legacy console version, so like 360, PS3, the old Switch version, the old Xbox One, the old PS4, you can replace this repeater with a piece of redstone dust. So now the door should be completely in sync. So on the closing is slightly unsynced because the piston extension isn't instant, but the piston retraction is instant, so you'll get a fully synced opening just like that. And now I'm going to go on the Bedrock version and show its changes. So let's go to the Bedrock version. So here is the Bedrock version of the door. Now, like I said, in Java and in Legacy Console, you do not need this repeater, but this repeater is needed for the Bedrock version. But what you can do in the Bedrock version is just shave away these 3 blocks and then just replace it with 3 pieces of redstone dust just like that, because you can put dust on pistons on Bedrock. And then over here you can just remove this observer. It is not needed. That's just to update the piston on Java. So now you have a door on Bedrock, and it should still work the same. So there we go. That's the closing, and there we go. That is the opening, and it is completely reliable. See, doesn't break, works every single time. And finally, let's go to the Legacy Console version, which you might recognize because the graphics are really bright compared to the other 2 versions. So let's go to that version. So here we are on the Legacy Console version of Minecraft. As you can see, the graphics are pretty bright compared to the other 2 versions. So the funny thing about console version of Minecraft is that you can actually put dust on pistons in this version, and it actually works. So this one gets the best of both Bedrock and Java, which means you can replace this repeater with dust and have dust over here with the pistons. So you get a nice sync design, and it's just really small because console's kind of magical. So flick this lever, and it does have visual bugs, so that's kind of the only con. So there we go. And the opening is fully synced, so boom, there we go, and it's really fast. And there are some few visual bugs, like this piston like retracted later, but it retracts all at the same time. I'm telling you that now. There's just some visual bugs in this version of the game. So that time it did retract at the same time. So yeah, Legacy Console. Okay, Legacy Console, if you don't know what it looks like, if your menu has Minecraft and its menu looks like this, you are playing Legacy Console Edition. And Legacy Console Edition, common misconception, does have 0 ticks. Okay, I'm gonna prove it right here, right now. I just have to remember how to actually make the thing, because I always forget the order. So I think if I get this first try, it should be repeater here and comparator here. I think this might be wrong, and you technical Minecrafters might be cringing, but I always forget. So let's see, is this the right orientation? Of course it isn't. Okay, comparator here and repeater here. See, that is 0 tick right there. And the reason people think that there isn't 0 tick in Legacy Console is because Legacy Console doesn't actually have these 0 tick farm plant mechanics. You can't force grow crops in this version of the game for some reason. I don't know. Legacy Console's kind of that weird middle ground of sometimes, okay, I did have a 0 tick generator here before. So, yeah. It does work. It does work. Okay, see, I even built Space's 4x4 door. It's not in this world. It is in a different world. But yes, his door uses 0 ticks, and it works in this version. Also, if you have built this 5x5, also works on console. Bet you didn't know that. That's so fun and quirky. So, anyways, that is the universal 3x3 piston door, as the technical term is, because it works across all versions and it's universal. But there we go. Best 3x3 door in Minecraft. That is a very bold claim. I'm definitely going to get dislikes on this, but doesn't matter. I think we're gonna do the outro in this version of Minecraft, because why not? So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. There's other stuff coming, other cool fun things like shulker box shops and giant screen panel things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. This recording's really long, and goodbye.